Amelia hurried through her day. Work deadlines loomed. Grocery lists ran through her head. She felt like a hamster on a wheel, always running but getting nowhere. Her mind raced with thoughts of the past and worries about the future. She ate lunch at her desk, barely tasting the food. The colors of the world seemed dull. The laughter of children on the street sounded distant. One evening, Amelia found herself slumped on a park bench, tears welling in her eyes. The weight of her life felt unbearable. She longed for a moment of peace, a moment to breathe. As a tear rolled down her cheek, she noticed an elderly woman sitting on the bench across from her. The woman's face was etched with wrinkles, but her eyes sparkled with a quiet joy. Amelia tried to compose herself, embarrassed to be seen in such a state. The elderly woman, however, simply smiled warmly and asked, "My dear, why are you troubled?" Amelia hesitated for a moment before pouring out her heart, sharing the constant stress and overwhelming feeling of being lost in the whirlwind of her life. The elderly woman listened patiently, her gaze kind and understanding. When Amelia finished, she placed a hand on her arm and spoke in a voice soft as the rustling leaves. "My dear, you are so busy chasing after tomorrow that you are missing the precious gift of today." Amelia had never thought of it that way. She had always been so focused on achieving her goals and securing her future that she hadn't stopped to appreciate the present moment. The elderly woman's words struck a chord deep within her. She longed to experience the peace and joy that seemed to radiate from the woman's very being. "But how?" Amelia asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "How can I find peace when my mind is constantly racing with worries and to-dos?" The elderly woman smiled gently. "The answer, my dear, lies in the present moment. It lies in learning to be fully present in each and every breath, in each and every step." Intrigued, Amelia found herself drawn to the woman's quiet wisdom. She had always dismissed mindfulness and meditation as practices for hippies and yogis. But there was something about this woman's presence that made her reconsider. Perhaps there was a different way of living, a way that didn't involve constant stress and anxiety. "Tell me more," Amelia pleaded, her heart filled with a glimmer of hope. The elderly woman nodded, her eyes twinkling with understanding. She began to share her wisdom, speaking of the transformative power of mindfulness and the importance of embracing the present moment. "The present moment is all we truly have," the elderly woman explained. "The past is gone and the future is yet to come. When we dwell on the past or worry about the future, we miss out on the beauty and fullness of the present." Amelia listened intently, her mind beginning to quiet for the first time in what felt like forever. The elderly woman's words were like a soothing balm to her soul. "Mindfulness is about bringing our full attention to the present moment," the woman continued. "It's about noticing the sights, sounds, smells, and sensations around us without judgment. It's about savoring each breath, each step, each moment, as if it were the most precious gift." She went on to explain that mindfulness wasn't about emptying the mind or suppressing thoughts. It was about acknowledging thoughts and feelings without letting them control us. It was about observing them with curiosity and kindness, like watching clouds drift by in the sky. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the park, the elderly woman shared simple yet profound mindfulness practices that Amelia could incorporate into her daily life. She spoke of mindful breathing, mindful walking, and mindful eating. She emphasized the importance of connecting with nature and finding joy in the simple things. Section 4. Finding Stillness. Amelia left the park that evening feeling lighter than she had in months. The elderly woman's words had planted a seed of hope within her, a seed that she was determined to nurture. She started small, incorporating mindful breathing into her daily routine. She would pause throughout the day, close her eyes, and take a few deep breaths, focusing solely on the sensation of air entering and leaving her body. At first, her mind would wander, pulled back to her worries and to-dos. But with each breath, she gently guided her attention back to the present moment. As she practiced mindfulness more and more, Amelia began to notice subtle shifts within herself. She felt calmer, more centered, and more resilient in the face of stress. The colors of the world seemed brighter. The laughter of children on the street sounded sweeter. She started taking mindful walks in nature, paying attention to the feel of the sun on her skin, the sound of birdsong, and the scent of wildflowers. She began to savor her meals, appreciating the flavors and textures of her food. Slowly but surely, Amelia was reclaiming her life, one mindful moment at a time. Section 5. Embracing the present. One sunny afternoon, Amelia returned to the park bench where she had first met the elderly woman. To her delight, the woman was there, sitting peacefully with her eyes closed. As Amelia approached, the woman opened her eyes and smiled warmly. "You came back," she said, her voice filled with gentle amusement. Amelia smiled back, her heart overflowing with gratitude. "You showed me the way," she replied. "You helped me to see that peace and happiness aren't destinations to be reached, but rather states of being to be cultivated in the present moment." They sat in comfortable silence for a while, each lost in the beauty of the present moment. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the park. Birds sang sweetly in the trees. Children laughed as they chased each other across the grass. In that moment, Amelia realized that the elderly woman was right. The present moment was indeed a precious gift, a gift that she had been taking for granted for far too long. She vowed to cherish each breath, each step, each moment from that day forward, knowing that true peace and happiness could only be found in the embrace of the now.